The amount that you can achieve in 1 year is genuinely a lot more than you think. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, people overestimate what they can achieve in a year, but underestimate what they can achieve in a decade. Guys, in my life, I have proven to myself that in 1 year, you can do so much more than you actually think. What if somebody told you that by the end of 2026, you could have a $200,000 income. You could be in the best physical shape of your life by a substantial margin. You could have your dream apartment or be very close to buying your dream house. What would you do? What would you do this year in order to actually have that be real? I'd assume a lot. And in my life, once I realized that to be true, there is nothing that stands in my way from taking the steps that I need to take to make that actually become a reality. In this video, we're going to talk about everything that you should have and implement into your life starting now. We don't use the phrase starting tomorrow, okay? Because that's when things never actually happen. These are things you can start today to actually start making a positive change in your life. And also, most importantly, be consistent. The amount of people that set certain New Year's resolutions for themselves and then end up quitting and not actually achieving things because they start off great for a month, but then after the month, boom, all back to normal. Nothing has changed in their life. The next year they say the same thing and repeat the cycle. And that is the last thing that I would want for you. So first and foremost, I want to say, do you even know what your life what you're working towards, what your goals are? Do you have a clear picture in your mind in terms of, say, the type of house or the house that you want to own, the car that you want to drive, the amount of hours you want to be working per week, the family that you want to have, what your body looks like, how you feel? If you don't have a clear picture of what this stuff actually looks like, the goals that you set won't even be goals that are put or set in the direction that you want to head in. So number one, I mean, before you even start thinking about how your life's going to change or what you're going to be doing, I cannot stress the importance of having a clearly defined picture across the board. It doesn't necessarily have to be to the T. Things change in life. But as of right now, with what you know, do you have a certain lifestyle, a certain house, certain car, certain body, you name it, that you want? Number one is have that, and I'm talking 4K vision, because that determines the goals that you will set for yourself. Some people are more ambitious, some people are less ambitious. Some people may have their income, they want an income of $500,000 a year. Others may say $80,000 a year. It's okay. Whatever your goal is, just make sure you know what you want. You don't have to have the life that other people, one moment. You don't have to have the life that other people have or what they want. What matters is what you want, and what matters is what you believe will make you happy. Use common sense in that, because it's easy to think something will make you happy when in reality, say you obtain a $4 million house, but your relationships are absolutely garbage, you will not be happy. You do need balance. You need to consider a lot of different areas of your life, such as health, right? Health is important. You can own a $4 million house, but if you're dying, you won't be very happy. That's why I say use common sense when defining goals in terms of something you're striving towards or what you want that you think will make you happy. So let's dive in. Number one, you need ambition. Now, I will say the fact that you clicked on this video, you have at least some level of ambition, right? People who don't have any ambition, they start off the new year scrolling TikTok or YouTube shorts, just getting that quick dopamine hit on absolute brain rot, useless content. People who watch this content are people, I watch other YouTubers all the time on this type of content because it motivates me. It gives me new ideas. And so that shows you do have at least some level of ambition, which is insanely important. Now, there are levels to the ambition. The more ambition you have, the more you are mindlessly going to step out of your comfort zone to achieve what you want, what you define for whatever goals are for yourself. I'll give you an example. I hate public speaking. I grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I didn't want to move out. Like all my friends, all my family, it's what's familiar to me. I like what's familiar to me. When I got my latest promotion at my financial company, they wanted me to move to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. My ambition levels at the time, and still are, set so high that although that is so out of my comfort zone, I just signed the papers. I signed the offer letter. There wasn't really any debate. I saw the income they were offering me and what this could do for my life. And it's like, I'm gonna do it. You can always go back. You can always, although that's not a great thing, but you can take steps back in your life. So at least why not just sign the papers and go do it? And I've been in this position for around 11 months now, and it has very much so transformed many different parts of my life. I was able to get, I made a whole separate video on this, but around a $240,000 income at 24. And just so much of that is thanks to having an ultra high ambition level. Think of ambition as, if your life is a car, ambition is the engine. The where you are on the scale of ambition, think of it as a horsepower number. If you have a ton of horsepower, you're going to get to the finish line faster than someone who only has a tiny bit of horsepower. Obviously, there's a lot of other components of the car that make it work, but the horsepower drives how fast you make things happen. So ask yourself, how high are my ambition levels? How out of my comfort zone am I willing to get? And if it's a lot, then you're going to take the steps necessary to succeed. If you have low ambition levels, you're only going to do little things. Like you might, instead of going to the gym and beginning a treacherous fitness journey to get your dream body, you might just do a couple of push-ups in your room every day, and that's it. And that's what low ambition levels look like. High ambition levels look like taking massive steps out of your comfort zone to get exactly what you want to achieve. Now, here's the second thing, and that is effort. Look at everything in your life and how you treat it. Guys, I'll give you a good kind of a analogy or story. Like I enjoy playing Rocket League in my downtime. I don't think I'll ever quit. There's nothing wrong with video games, by the way, so don't think you ever have to just completely quit something unless it is like a serious addiction that you can't control. At that point, yes, that's got to go. But the effort that you put in to even something as simple as a video game carries over to every other aspect of your life. When I play Rocket League, although I'm not like pursuing that as a career, I take it as seriously as my career. I want to be the highest rank in the game. Not really exactly super close to that, but I say that because I look at some of my friends who also play that game and treat it more like, I don't really care. I'm not really going to try to rank up, or they just quit easily. They get frustrated. I look at their career and they treat their career the exact same way. Mark Cuban, this is his quote, "The effort you put into one thing in your life is the effort you put into everything else." So even as something as simple as like a video game, or whatever it is, you should treat the way that the effort that you put into anything in your life as if it is the thing that is most important to you, because the effort there will translate to the effort here. Effort in a video game will translate to the effort in your career. So this year, starting today, again, this isn't even that hard to do. It's not that hard to just measure your ambition levels and increase them if needed. Again, you do that by defining what you want in life and how bad do you want it. Do you want to have what motivates you? Is it travel? Is it getting that dream house, having that dream car? Because if it's something that is very, very important to you, and maybe it's not those things, maybe it's the freedom and the time and not having to wake up forcefully at 9 a.m. every day, getting to a point where you have enough money saved that will generate an income for you just based off of your own, whatever, passive income, where it replaces your main income. I think that's a pretty big motivation for anybody. And if it's not for yourself, how about for other people? The more money you have, the more generous you can be, the more you can help other people. I think having no goals, no ambition, no drive is almost selfish to just stay in your own comfort zone. So aside from my own goals, I also look at the people around me, and I think it's my responsibility to bring them up and help them and be in a position to bring opportunities to other people as well. And that's possible through, in other ways outside of just a high income, a high net worth, but I look at that as it's a pretty important piece in this society. The next thing I want to talk about, number 3, is the fundamentals of your life, the building blocks, if you will. You want a high income, you want to be disciplined with saving, whatever the case may be. Well, this is a little bit of a controversial take because you can provide me some examples of people who don't really take care of themselves but are still successful. That does exist. But you look at a common theme with high-performing, successful people, you'll see pretty quickly the majority of them all have the following in common. Good sleep, 8+ hours, high-quality sleep, a high-quality diet, and a good physical fitness. First of all, obviously on the sleep side, energy, you feel good, you're going to perform better. Diet, you take in healthy foods, that's the energy your mind is running off of and the energy levels that your body is feeling. But specifically I don't mean to undermine those things, very, very important, but specifically on the physical fitness side of things, I think this is one of the most underrated components of succeeding in life because say you have your career or your business just fail, you suck at it, or you get fired. If you are consistently improving on the physical fitness side of things, at least you know wherever you go in life, you have discipline, progress, and improvement, and proof of that. Working out doesn't take any level of intelligence at all. Again, intelligence, that's a whole different debate. You can still be successful without being someone that's super smart. But if you are improving with your physical fitness, you can see that through higher bench press numbers. You can see that through curling more weight or whatever exercise it is. You see actual, like measurable improvements there. And if you are consistent there, again, that going back to the earlier point, you're likely going to be consistent in every other area of your life. So no matter if you fail at something and it really makes you feel bad, for me, I have noticed that I've been able to look at my own physical fitness journey and say, okay, but I don't quit. I have evidence I don't quit. I have evidence that I consistently improve and work towards something, and you bring that with you. That's who you are. That is the definition of you. Someone that doesn't quit, that works hard, that keeps going, that sees improvement, even when maybe some things are just out of your control. You could have gotten unlucky in a certain circumstance in your career or your side hustle, or just made a bad decision. Everyone makes bad decisions. That stuff happens. But if you have evidence of something in your life where you are consistent, you are hardworking, I've noticed that is an easy thing to fall back on and be like, this sucks, but it's okay. I know who I am. I know I don't quit. I know I'm hardworking. Now, to go off of that point, it is incredibly important to set actual realistic goals for yourself. You can have ultra high ambition. You can be super disciplined. You can implement all these different things in your life. But if you do not have goals that are actually achievable, then it's probably not going to, you're not going to be able to be consistent with it. I'll give you an example. Let's say by the end of 2026, you set a goal of hitting a $200,000 income. Let's say you're currently at $40,000. Let's say you get to $100,000 by the end of this year. That's phenomenal. In 1 year, that is a phenomenal increase. But you were only 50% to goal. You failed. Now, rework this. Let's say you set a goal of $80,000 for your income and you hit $100,000. That's what, like 150% to goal? Now that is a more positive feedback loop. If you're setting, on the workout side, if you say, New Year's resolution, I'm gonna wake up every day at 5 a.m. and go work out. I didn't even set that goal for myself. I dream of having that level of insane discipline one day. But I know myself. I know that is not very realistic for myself. I prefer to work out at other times and spend time having a little bit more balance than just 5 days a week, 5 a.m. working out. I just know myself. I know that's not something that I would likely stick with. And I don't want to be setting goals for myself that's going to reinforce a negative feedback loop where it's like, oh, I failed at this, then I failed at this, and I failed at this, I quit. I'm done. I'm just not even going to try really anymore. I'm just going to give up again. And then the next year, have the same sort of resolutions or improvement goals for myself that I can't even hit because they're so unrealistic. Kevin O'Leary said that some of his best returns on Shark Tank were women for some reason. And when he dove into that deeper to understand why, it's because men oftentimes set extremely unrealistic goals for themselves. And it leads to, again, that failure mindset that hurts so much. But if you set something a bit more realistic that you know you can achieve, but it is a little bit of a stretch, you know it's difficult, but you can achieve it, and you hit it, it's that dopamine that is the ultimate satisfaction that comes out of life. It's something that takes a long time to achieve, that you've worked for so hard and have been focused on for, again, a long time, that when you do achieve that, it is such a great feeling, more so than anything else. And again, it's just going to improve the quality of your life, just depending on what, again, your specific goals are for what your ideal life is. I'll end there. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Appreciate you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.